Greetings to you. How are you doing? I hope you had a wonderful day. It's Monday. It is I'm checking the date, 16th day of June, 2025. Whatever is happening around the world, it's not my concern. I'm not here to report on what's happening in other countries. I'm here to discuss the bullshit that's happening in Guyana. I'm here to talk about the nonsense that's happening in Guyana. That's what I'm here for. I'm going to cover today secrets of President Irfan Ali, the idiot Azrudin Mohamed, the lunatics of the PMC, and the fact that Indo-Guyanese continue to run around with their tail between their legs. I'm here to cover that today on today's live. So welcome to Dr. Love Persaud, Uncensored, which means whatever comes from these lips, whatever comes to these lips, I'll just say it. If you are sensitive, F you. If you have issues, F you. If you are emotionally insecure, F you. I don't give a F what your issues are. I am here to talk about the problems that the good, decent, law-abiding citizens of Guyana continue to face. That's what I'm here to talk about today. Like many other days, my concern is the security and the safety of the Guyanese citizens. More specifically, Indo-Guyanese. That's my concern. So, thanks for joining. Let's call some names now. I see there. No, Nina Singh, you're not late for the classes. I've just begun. Mike Carpen, good afternoon. Alina something Lachman. Shelly Mangru. Davy, Sabrina, is it? Annalisa. Sharita Jagrup. Welcome, and all the other persons. Sincerely, I have to go get this glasses taken care of. I'll do it. It costs money. It really does. It costs money. Everything for me costs money. I'm not a cheap guy. I mean, my life is expensive. So whenever I have to get something done, I have to think about go to accountants and do a budget and all these kinds of stuff. I'm not a PMC. When you're living like a PPP, your life is expensive because you understand the quality of life. You can't just go get a Chinese makeover. You're thinking about American made, European made. The PMC, they're all about Chinese makeover. Cheap, quick, complain after. We from the PPP, we would go the extra mile, pay the extra cost, and invest one time. It lasts for the next 100 years. But when you're following the PNC, they're cheap. They just want a counterfeit that looks like the real thing, even though it lasts overnight. Can't stand up too long. A quick fix. They don't want to put in the work, build up. So when they rise up, it stays up today, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, the next week. And before you know it, every 9 months, life begins. No, the PNC just wants, whoops. Oh, honey, we started at 5 o'clock. It's 3 minutes after 5. We from the PPP, we can't, nah, mm-mm, mm-mm, hell no, mm-mm. So due to that, we have to support quality, longevity, and it costs money to have quality, patience and money. So yes, I have to go get the glasses. I don't want the cheap, quick stuff, quick thing. It's not, you know, compatible to the PPP. You see why I'm saying the PPP? Because I want you to understand, and I've said it before, this is not about Jagdeo or Ali. This is about the foundation of the PPP. The PPP is built on the principles of quality, long lasting, resistance, persistence, endurance. That's the PPP. So my entire being is programmed, even if I want to be sympathetic, to say I'm going to listen to somebody from the PMC. It wouldn't pass my ear. There is a shield in knowledge, wisdom, intelligent shield that is on my ears. Anything that doesn't comprises of those qualities, it just drops. So today, I would say this, and I'll say it again. The vulnerable group in Guyana are the East Indians. The East Indians. The East Indians in Guyana, Indo-Guyanese, are discriminated at every ministry of the government. Every office, every organization, they are faced with discrimination. From the hospitals to the ministries of education to the Ministry of Agriculture, every ministry across the government, the Indo-Guyanese are faced with racism, discrimination, prejudice, and they're being undermined. I'm not telling you what I imagine. I'm telling you what is a matter of fact. A matter of fact. the Indo-Guyanese are the ones who are being discriminated against, even with the so-called Indian government. Even with the so-called Indian government, Indo-Guyanese are discriminated in their massive numbers in Guyana. Let's look at the housing sector. How many house lots are given out? If the government has given out 20,000 house lots, how many of those house lots went to Indo-Guyanese? The vast majority of the house lots and the houses that were built went to Afro-Guyanese. A large percentage. They got the most. If you look at the cash grant that the government has been giving out, how many Indo-Guyanese received their cash grant? You can tell by the names, right? You can tell by the names. How many? I want someone from the government's oversight committee, if there is any, conduct an investigation in the land sector, Ministry of Housing, and the Social Services Ministry. Do an investigation. And by comparison, you will see the large ratio of Afro-Guyanese who received government handouts as against the Indo-Guyanese who received. What do you want to say? That the Indo-Guyanese are not showing up? They're not registering? They're not applying? Is that what you want to say? I am saying, check the records. Check the books. Every application that goes into the government, land applications, grant application, there is a registry. Check the registry, make your comparison. You will see how they are largely discriminated against. I'm not saying this is the government. I'm not saying that President Ali's government is doing this. I'm saying the officers within the government are doing this. That's what I'm saying. The officers that works for the government that are responsible for the dispensation of whatever works, services to the Guyanese people are consciously delivering poor services to Indo-Guyanese, and for some reason, they're favoring Afro-Guyanese. That is what I am saying. Go do your research. Am I accusing the government of lacking? Yes, I'm accusing the government of lacking. That's what I'm doing. I'm saying the government is neglecting and taking for granted their base. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the government is making their services loud amongst Afro-Guyanese because they want favor. Imagine that. This is not just about elections. From day one, COVID, the grants, the stipends, the social services that was made available since COVID, the packages that were made available. largely went to Afro-Guyanese since then. It seems like the Irfan Ali government came with an agenda to say, we're going to do whatever it takes to win over these Negroes. And the Indo-Guyanese will understand. It seems like that was the agenda of the Ali government when he swore it. At the back of his head, we're gonna win over these Negroes, so the PNC has nobody, and the Indians would understand. If that was your agenda, President Ali, I'll drink some coffee to it. Why? Why am I going to drink some coffee to that? Because it's stupid. It's a stupid agenda. You're smarter than that. If you think that you're going to shave your head and donate your hair from your head, shave your pubic area, donate the hair to the PNC supporters, the Afro-Guyanese, if you think you will do that, and they're going to marry you, oh, President Ali, the first Black president, if you think that will happen, then you are really stupid. And I thought you were smart. Because, President Ali, it will never happen. It will never happen. The PNC supporters that you are trying to win will drink your blood. Every ounce of it. And then turn away and vomit that blood for Aubrey Norton or the PNC. Because those people and their children and their grandchildren worship Barnum. They signed a deal with the devil. You wouldn't get them. But what will happen, the Indo-Guyanese that you are hurting by turning your back on them and serving these ungrateful PNC people, they are going to stay the fuck home on elections day and say this is a waste of time going there to vote for the PPP. Because we voted for them in 2020 and nothing happened. Let them blacks that they're helping, let them blacks go vote for them. That's what the Indians would say if you don't stop this nonsense. That's what they will say. Guyana, and look, seriously, let me tell you something. Every certificate I have to my name, every certificate I have my name on, every course that I followed, every academic achievement I have was paid for by Indo-Guyanese. And when I left, the people who kept sponsoring my education were Indians. Indians. In all my life, I have never once received a donation or a sponsorship that made sense from Afro-Guyanese or Black people. It never happened. Not that I asked. The Indians who stood by me financially I never asked them also. They saw potential. They came, they invested. So today, don't judge me, fuck it, judge me. But I don't have to give anybody excuses or justify my position in talking for the rights and the wrongs that are committed against Indo-Guyanese. I don't have to explain anything to nobody. Nobody. So understand this, okay? This is not about Ali or Jagdeo. This is my calling, my agenda. I choose to do it because it seemed like it's a perpetual curse that the Indians have to continue. Since in my young days, throughout, the Indo-Guyanese continues to receive this kind of aggressive abuse from Afro-Guyanese. When the heck will it end? When will enough be enough? I was a boy and I witnessed it. For heaven's sake, man, I'm an adult and the same shit is happening by the same set of people. How many governments have come since my young days? I experienced Chetty, then Janet, then Jagdeo, not Ramatar, thank goodness. No Ali. And Indians still, it seemed they have to fight for a piece of the pie. Indo-Guyanese still have to fight for a piece of the pie. And the lazy Africans are getting it for free. It's being handed out to them by every government. Every government. I know what is hurting. The Indo-Guyanese continue to hold steadfast to the vision of Chetty. Had Chetty still been here with us, the situation of the Indo-Guyanese would be different. It will be a balanced playing field. Balanced playing field. Because Chetty was fearless. Fearless. If the devil in Boreum didn't crush him, you think them modern day thugs can do that? Chetty endured the gun, the sword, the obeah of the demon king. You think them lunatics now could influence Chetty the way they're putting pressure on Irfan Ali? So President Ali, you don't need to buy these Negroes. The PNC retains 30% of the Afro-Guyanese. 10% of that 30% the PNC has, they're the hardcore Barnum vampires who at any beck and call would go out and literally suck on the Indians, literally. There is only one way to deal with them. And if I say it on YouTube, I'll get flagged. I definitely can't say that on Facebook. Because I said it before, send them back to Africa, and the Village Voice wants me to be sanctioned. So, I'm saying now, elections is just over 2 months. President Ali. And instead of the government or the PPP focus their effort in stopping the migration of the Indians from Guyana and focus on the remigration of the Indians in the diaspora so they can come and resettle in Guyana to vote. You're busy trying to win over these Negroes. Who will not vote for you, sir? The 30% that Norton has, Norton has. Norton would not lose them. You can't get them. They are a part of the PNC cult. And most of them are there in Georgetown and the East Coast. Forget it. Give him that 30%. They need that 10 seat in parliament. They need that. You have 70% at your disposal. Don't be greedy now, President Ali. Don't be greedy. You have 30%. You can't get 100%. You have 30%. I mean, 70%. The 70% includes all the Indo-Guyanese, 15% of the Afro-Guyanese, the Amerindians, the Chinese, the Europeans, and the mixed races. You have them. You have them, sir. They're there for you. Let Norby Norton take care of his 30%. Let him take his $1 million Guyana dollars a month and distribute it to his 30% so they vote for him. Let him do that. What are you doing? Focus on getting the Indo-Guyanese in Guyana so they can vote for the PPP. Don't make Chedi turn in his grave for you neglecting the Indo-Guyanese. The Africans will always accuse you of being a racist. Always. So enough with the bullshit. And by the way, I said a few weeks ago that if the PNC can keep that dead child's corpse on ice till September, they will. Because they have nothing else in their playbook to use to appeal to the emotions of their vulnerable followers. The vulnerable 30% blacks, they need to get them because they are afraid that they might lose them too to Ali. So they use a child, a dead child, because people are weak to that. Anything to do with children, the world will turn over. So even though people know that they're abusing this thing, somehow they have some kind of sentimental attachment. These are kids, these are kids. So they would hold on to that corpse and step up the protest. In August, they would resurrect the whole Adriana case and bring some shit to incite violence, incite protest, leading up to September 1st elections, and use that to keep the blacks focused on voting for the PNC. And the stupid Indians that are believing that nonsense to get them too. I said they will do it. And it seems like they want to keep this child on ice. This is the weak legal system we have in Guyana. Weak. Because the dead child belongs to the parents, the government and the department that deals with that, social services, you're going to sit back and allow this to go on because it's a property of the family if they want to keep paying the funeral home to keep this corpse on ice. And the GoFundMe keeps going. And all these stupid people from wherever keeps funding this futile case because the PNC and these hustlers, these vampire hustlers, wants to keep this case alive, so they keep milking the money from the GoFundMe, and they can also use it for political distraction. So like I said, President Ali, all that money you spent to bring doctors, to bring Mountain Police, all that money you spent, it was for nothing. You crumbled. You crumbled under the claims of these bullies. Yes, you want calm and peace, but you stooped too low for nothing. They still did what they wanted to do, despite what you did as president. That's why I said, fire the Minister of Social Services. It's her fault. Should have shut this down since the day. The man for the hotel is still waiting for his justice. Still waiting for his justice. Well, the same way you could take money and invest with these doctors, and then these doctors are disrespected, their careers are threatened, then you bring Mountain Police, all that money. How much thousands? And I would like to know how much. I want to know how much money the government spent to retain the services of these people. I want to know. I would like to know. When you calculate that amount of money you spent, all the damages these thugs have caused, all the things they spread on social media, we're not seeing anything about trials, prosecution, but yet the victim, the owner of that hotel, continues to face all of these public shame, all of these issues with people spreading all of these things about the man. And his property is still there. They're threatening the man that if he rebuilds, look, you Negroes know exactly who you take that shit talk to. You know who you take that talk to. You're telling the man, threatening him that if he rebuilds, what? What? Then what? If he rebuilds this hotel, what? What will you do? Burn it down again? Then what? This is why when you don't use the law on these thugs, when you don't shut them down, when you don't take away their freedom and lock them away for the rest of their miserable life, President Ali, when you don't do that, that's what they live to continue to do. It's not enough that they destroyed this man's livelihood. It's not enough that they took away so much from that community. Loss of job, loss of income. It's not enough. Now they're threatening the man that he can't rebuild. And if he rebuilds, these low-life, nasty, foul, I want to say subhuman. They have nothing. They are unimportant. They will not be missed. They make no contribution to their communities or Guyana, none whatsoever. And they're the ones threatening progress. They're the ones who want to hold everybody at ransom because they said so. Who are you? You Negroes, who are you? It's people like you as to why I have avoided political office. People like you. Because maybe I would bring retribution down on you. I would rain fire down on you if I had that power. Rain fire and brimstone on you thugs that think you can terrorize people. It's because of my position on these issues. I rather stay away. Ali might be afraid of you. Jack Dio might be afraid of you. But don't push me to get involved. Don't do it. I am telling you, the government, these people did wrong. They did not allow due course. They took the law in their own hands. It turned out that they were effing wrong. But nobody apologized to that man and all the victims of their thuggery. Nobody apologized. So I want you to, government, Ali, compensate that man and the Chinese and all the Indians, all the Indo-Guyanese who suffered abuse, who had acid and other substance thrown on them, thrown in their faces. Make the reports. Go to the government agency of social services. Go to whatever agency, lodge your complaint. And Ali government, compensate these people with the effing taxpayers' money. Enough with the bloody cash grants. Enough of it. Use the money for the cash grant and give to the victims of these thugs. The man with his hotel, the staff, all the persons who are involved in that industry, the Chinese who lost their businesses, the people whose cars were vandalized, the Indo-Guyanese who suffered, compensate them with the effing cash grants money. So next year, no cash grant. No 100,000. Cut it out. They must learn from their stupidity. Get a job. Stop terrorizing the people. You have to let them understand you are a president to protect all Guyana. All Guyana. Enough with a nice show. Enough of that nonsense. If they want you to be a dictator, be an effing dictator. Deal with them accordingly. If not, what do you get? What do you get? Elections is in a few months from now. The PNC and the others are building a scenario to reintroduce their usual riots, protests, disturbances. They're building a scenario for that. You're going to wait until then to show your strong arm. You know Ben will not do it. Ben is a sympathizer. Ben is a thug sympathizer. He sympathizes with these criminals. You don't want him. Don't you have a junior minister in the Minister of Home Affairs? Don't you have another minister? I am angered when I have to come to that issue. I'm angered because they have this brawling audacity on social media to talk about what compensation, this compensation, that. They're bullies. And you're going to sit back and allow them to bully the people who caused you to be president. Them Negroes didn't make you president, sir. If you think that the black people caused you to be president, you're delusional. You're delusional, President Ali. Delusional. Black people didn't make you president. Indian did. What are you forgetting? But now you want to serve the blacks over the Indians? Listen, I did some digging. There was a situation some time ago regarding a baby that it had seemed it was impossible. A premature child, baby. She was born prematurely. I followed the story back then, and in my mind, how are these people coping? I mean, they would have tried all these hospitals, and if a hospital realized that there is some money to be made on this patient, they're going to keep the patient alive for as long as it takes to milk the money, milk the people, milk the relatives. Hospitals do that. Same thing lawyers do. They build the client up and say, hey, no, we can win this case. And it keeps taking money from the client, money, money, money. When they know the client don't have a chance. Some hospitals do this to patients. They know the patient can't survive, but they have the apparatus to keep the patient alive because there's money to be made from that patient. So unfortunately, this child was prematurely born, and the parents, like most parents, are desperate to save their baby. So they tried everything possible, and their finances were exhausted. They were led to believe that if the monies were there, the hospital can continue the service, and eventually the child can be revitalized. In the moment of all of that, this parent of this child they're not millionaires, they're average citizens, Guyanese citizens. What a lot of you may not know, that particular case somehow got the attention of the president, Irfan Ali. And he snuck into the hospital thinking that he could do this undercover and nobody would find out. You are the president. No matter where you go, people will recognize you. And not everybody there will keep a secret. There are some people who would leak information. So he went after hearing about the situation. And from my research, he has no connection with the patient or their relatives, none whatsoever. He just learned of the situation and was touched by it. Went to the hospital himself to have a look at the condition of the child and instructed the accounts department or whichever department to put it on his bill. He's going to pay for the recovery of the child. He doesn't know these people. He has no idea who they are. But he saw a Guyanese baby there. He saw a potential, maybe if the child had survived, maybe he would have been a grandfather. But the point is, he saw potential there. There is life, there is hope. He saw life, and therefore he saw there is hope there. But after learning about what happened, he told the doctor, the finance, whoever deals with that, listen, bill me. Don't bill the parents. Don't tell them anything. Just continue doing what you're doing and try to save this child's life, but send the bill to me. That's a secret I wanted to break. No, I'm leaking it from this phone because I did my research and I got that information. And it was validated. It's not gossip. Here what my thing is. Oh, unfortunately, After all the monies the president from his pocket, from his salary, paid towards the recovery of that child, unfortunately, the child didn't make it. Unfortunate. But he stepped in when the parents give up. They realized they can't do it anymore. There is no money. Somehow, somebody got to the president, not the parents, somebody. And he went physically. He didn't send an aide. He didn't call the hospital. He didn't have social services get involved. No. Ali did what Ali always do. Take on people's burdens. And he took on the burden of that bill. And it was taken from his account, paid. But the child didn't make it. I wasn't asked to keep this a secret. I wanted to know, so I did my research. So, like I said, this is not information I got from the hospital. The president asked the hospital to keep this a secret. He doesn't want anybody to know what he did. My thing is, why not? Why not, sir? You went to a hospital at the ICU when the staff were not there to work, thinking nobody will see you. Check on a baby that was on life support, took on the bill, tell the people to help to bill you for whatever services they had to do to bring the child back to life or bring the child to a point where the parents can have their baby. And you want to keep that a secret? The Guyanese shouldn't know that you have done that. And you have these assholes building a cow pen and a dog pen and giving it to people who can build it themselves. And they're making pictures, going on live on Instagram and Facebook. And they want the world to see that they bought somebody a sneakers, build a cow pen and a dog pen. They want the world to see that. And they're doing it because they want the world, or the Guyanese world, to vote for them. And you went off camera, nighttime, try to snuck into a hospital to check on the condition of a baby, a premature baby that was on life support, tubes everywhere. And you offered to pay the bill because the parents couldn't afford it. And you want to keep that a secret? What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you? Those are the things the Guyanese need to know. Those are the things they need to know, sir. How you are personally getting involved in people's lives and you're saving them from death. You're paying their rent so they won't be homeless. And you want to keep that a secret. And you have these lunatics are doing less than that. Less than that. And they want the whole world to know what they're doing. But you don't want these things to go out. No, sir, I have a problem with that. Whatever you're doing in the capacity as a president, all the infrastructure, all the boosting of the economy, all your policies that you're doing, that's good. Yes, the Guyanese need to know that. Your government is doing well. But these extracurricular activities that you are doing as a person, as a human being. It ain't private. You need to understand you are president 24 hours a day. You don't have a private life anymore. Nothing about you is secret. So somehow that would have gotten out that you spent your own money to save this child's life. How many people you have helped to pay their rent? They were losing their houses. You help with your money, not taxpayers' money, your salary as a president. And you want nobody to know this? That was that why is it? I get it as a Muslim. As a Muslim, if you do good, it's between you, Allah, and whoever received the good. I get it. You're being a true Muslim. But isn't that idiot accused you the other day of being a fake Muslim? This Muhammad guy that everything he does, he's publicizing it, and he's supposed to be the good Muslim. He is the good Muslim, and he wants attention for every shit he does. And you are doing life-saving miracles. And you're keeping it a secret. So who's the good Muslim here? You are. I'm not a Muslim. So I don't have to keep your secret. So I'm saying the Guyanese president has saved so many people, gave them money. I said the other day, you're walking into the market and you want to buy all the greens. Then what's the point giving the Guyanese the cash grants if you don't want them to spend it? If you're going to spend the money, then why give it to them? You have a family, sir, to take care of. Spend your money with your family. So the same thing we're looking at here. You have done that, and you want to keep that a secret. I've heard of cases where people were about to become homeless, and whoever, I don't know how they get in contact with you. I can't get in contact with you. But these poor people are getting your attention, and I can't get your attention. What? I got to be poor to get your attention? That's it? What, guys like me can't get your attention? You're helping poor people out? I call you, you don't pick up my call? So you're helping these poor people, but it's not in the news. There is no breaking news. There is nothing on social media anywhere where President Ali paid somebody's rent, helped somebody with a mortgage, saved some child's life, nothing. And you're happy about it. That is a secret. You think that's why God put you there? To use your talent and keep it a secret? God wants the Guyanese to know that their president is a human first, a politician second. It is a human side of you that don't want to expose the kindness you do for Guyanese people. But you got to stop that. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You help poor people, so what? You pay people's rent, so what? You paid for a child that was on death row. I use the term death row in context because the hospital had given up on her. I mean, on the baby. I don't know what the sex was, but had given up on the baby. Parents couldn't afford. You paid to keep the child alive and to see what can happen. You want that to be kept a secret? And have all these PNC thugs accusing you of being greedy and racist and don't care about poor people? What's the matter with you, sir? What is the matter with you? You don't keep these things a secret. They must know that all these things they're saying, it's a lie. You think Allah is going to come tell the Guyanese, hey man, you're wrong about your president. He is doing so. No, God ain't gonna come tell anybody shit. You have to make sure that you stop doing good in the dark. We want to see. We want to know that you're doing these things. Because all the others who are shamming it and faking it, they're pushing it on the media. They're getting coverage. And you hear what they're saying about them? Oh, Muhammad is for the people. Muhammad is helping the poor. What? Which poor? Which poor is he helping? Which poor? Tell me the poor person that has their own house lot. Which poor person has a house transport, their own house lot? Which poor person? All the houses this so-called, this Muhammad allegedly given out, the land belonged to the people, right? He just helped them to build the house that they were going to build themselves anyway. The land belonged to them. How many poor people that had no land, none, they were homeless, that President Ali helped to get their land, then helped to build their house? How many? Long before he became president. Oh gosh, oh gosh, you didn't know that, did you? You didn't know that Ali helped a lot of people who didn't have land to get land? You think he's doing this because he's the president now? No, he's not. He's not doing it because he's president. He's done it long before. Oh my gosh, you didn't know that. Uh, 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 uh. This is why you need to let people know. So when they hear these lies that are peddled about you, they could shut it down and say, hey, shut the F up and stop talking these nonsense about my president. You're lying. But you're doing your good in secret. And this PMC and this agent of the PMC, they're publicizing made up propaganda to make you look bad. Are you okay with that? Moving on. Indo-Guyanese men, I'm going to talk to you now. You see, this is why I need a lot of people to watch my videos. This is why a lot of you have to share my videos. Because the things I'm saying here, I need the things I'm saying to reach the right people so they get it. I'm going to say this now to Indo-Guyanese men. Okay? Stop being afraid of these Negro thugs. Stop it. Stop being afraid. They're not your friends. They're not your friends. Stop thinking that they are your friends. Those blacks are not your friends. They don't like you. They pretend to like you because they can get handouts from you. They can get some palori, some dal, some choker, some choker. That's why they pretend to like you. They can get a loan and don't pay it back. But when it comes to identity, you will always be an Indian that they hate. Your responsibility, Indo-Guyanese man, is to protect your women and your daughters. Protect them by any effing means necessary. Protect them. Stand up and protect them. If the law is too slow to do it, take matters into your own hands. Get it done. Since the Barnum time to now, who are the victims? Who continue to be victimized in the Guyanese political scene and social scene? Indo-Guyanese. It's a fact. No matter who's in government, Indians continue to face the attack from the Africans. It's a matter of fact. You're going to sit around and still wait for a government to step up? Jack Dio didn't step up. Ali definitely has not stepped up because he's the president now and Indian people are still being attacked. The only time it was coming to a case of livable circumstances is with Chetty. But after that, the PMC kept using their apparatus to level threats to keep the government in check, while at the same time they lose their dogs to roam the streets and bully the Indians wherever they can find them. Stand up for your women and your girls in the Guyanese community. Guyana is not America. The police there are not whites, they're black. If you are in America, you know you're safe because the cops in America don't make jokes. In Guyana, they seem to be jokers because most of them are blacks, and the ones who have committed the crimes and who are continually terrorizing the Indo-Guyanese community are blacks. So black people are sympathetic to black people. You got to take matters into your own hands. Stand up for your women and your daughters. Too many times, as recent as last month, I think of this month, in a bank in Georgetown, Region 4. You see, I can call the name of the bank. I can call the name of the bank. I can give you the day, the time, and the name of the bank where this incident took place. But guess what? I don't know how many PPP lawyers I can count on. I don't know if I can count on the government's legal system. I don't know. Because the black people hate me, and somehow some of these Indians don't trust me. So I'm in a position where I have to take the risk as much as I can deal with the consequences. So there was a situation in this particular bank where two Indian women were talking, minding their own business, talking to each other. And there was a black man standing behind in the bank and overheard these women talking about something to do with Indian stuff. And he was offended and was verbally abusive to them, calling them names, cussing them out in the bank, loud enough that everybody else there heard and turned, they were looking. And the security guards in the bank just stood there and looked on. Just stood and looked on. Because they're black, and the thug who was abusing these women verbally were black, and the two women were Indians. They were so scared they had to leave the bank. The bank didn't throw them out. They threw themselves out of fear. They did nothing wrong. Two girls just meet up in the bank and apparently didn't see each other for a while and exchanging talks. But he was so hateful to see these two Indian women happy in a bank where they must feel safe. He just started cussing and talking about the things he said. And all the people there in the bank just looked. Nobody got involved. Well, this is what I'm talking about. That's a bank. A black man verbally abused two Indian women in the bank. And if they had responded to him, he would have physically tried to abuse them. And until then, maybe the security guard would have gotten involved and put him out of the bank. And if they had done that, he would have waited for the women to leave and then continue his abuse on the road. That's how safe the Indo-Guyanese are in Guyana. Even in a bank, they're not protected. They had to leave. There are other situations that I can verify where Indo-Guyanese, especially women, walking around on Georgetown, there, Regent Street, and those areas, like everybody else. It's a free country. You should walk where you are, where you want to walk freely. But the city is so congested. These black men, these thugs, these criminals are liming around the street and spying on these women that look vulnerable, pursuing them, especially on motorcycles. And when the women are walking and they're riding beside the women and taunting them, looking at their response, if they look as though they're nervous, then they pounce upon them and take their bags and try to rob them and the women that are continually targeted for these attacks are Indian women, Indo-Guyanese women. It's happening every day. Every day. Georgetown does not belong to them thugs. Guyana does not belong to black people. Even the land you think you have, it doesn't belong to you. Because if you do not pay taxes on that land, after a while, the government can take it back. No piece of land belongs to anyone there. You're given a loan. You're loaned the land to do what you want with the land, but it's not yours. You can just transfer it. Even though you sell it, it is transferable. That's why they say when you die, you can't take it with you. So no part of Guyana and Georgetown belongs to no Negro. No part. The PNC may have their large supporters based in Georgetown. It doesn't mean they own the city. It doesn't mean they have a right to terrorize Indians or anybody on the road. It doesn't mean that. These people have to feel safe. This is why when you go around the city, look at the crowds. You hardly see Indo-Guyanese in the midst. Why? Why can't they be free to just roam like everybody else? Go out and shop and enjoy the city, enjoy the sights. Why not, man? They have to have this fear that some black guy is going to rob them, which they have a right, because it happens. That shit happens. So this is why I'm saying Indo-Guyanese men, step the F up. When you're walking with your family, your wife, or your girlfriend, your daughters, and these thugs want to harass them, deal with them accordingly. Deal with them accordingly. Don't worry about legal troubles. You have a right to defend your family. But if every time the Indian have to say, don't go outside because you know these thugs, don't know, man, you're staying home. You're staying home out of fear. But the black people are enjoying the country, enjoying the city. Because who's going to rob them? Which thug in his right mind will want to harass a black woman? Which thug? Which criminal in his right mind would want to risk robbing a black man? Which one? So they pick on the people they think are afraid of them. The Indians, the Chinese, the Europeans, because you are not fighting back. You are not fighting back. You have to. This is why I said, give firearms to the decent Indian families in Guyana. Give them guns to protect their family. Do like America. Let them walk with it. I mean, the society has become toxic. You know what happens? Let the people protect themselves and their family. You have these women are afraid to even sit in the public buses, the minibuses. They're afraid. Do this. I'm challenging you to do this. Go at the bus spot, observe the buses, whatever, what they call it, if it's the West Coast or wherever, but the buses in Georgetown. Look at the majority of the people that are traveling with these minibuses. They're black people. You're telling me that Indians don't need transportation? But they rather go in the bigger buses where it feels safer. Why can't they just enjoy the Guyanese life? Everything the government is doing for Guyana is for Guyanese, not for black people. Every Guyanese need to benefit from the services of the government, from the freedom of the country. So, Home Affairs Minister, get undercover police. You should have at least 50,000 disciplined service members. 50,000. 5,000 should be loose around the city. Just Georgetown, 5,000 undercover. Let them drive taxis, minibuses, let them security guard for stores, lose them all over the city, undercover. You will see how many criminals you're going to catch every day. You'll be surprised. They have to come back to vote. The PPP needs 10-seat majority. 10-seat majority. If you continue to play with the security of the good citizens of Guyana, they're not going to come to vote for you. They're going to keep leaving the country. You must understand, a lot of the blacks don't have a choice. A lot of the blacks don't have a choice. Okay? The other countries, the foreign countries, would faster give a visa or welcome Indo-Indians to their country than they would do blacks. Because black people has a reputation all over the world. But Indian people are always freely welcome into Europe, North America, even China. Because those countries understand the legacy of Indians, hardworking, peaceful, law-abiding, constructive, responsible. So they want those people in their countries as citizens. Black people don't get that easy entry because those countries understand the more blacks you have, protests, burglary, chaos, looting, crime. So a black has to really have a good worth to apply and get a visa or get entry in some of the countries. For them to get in, they have to go through as illegal immigrants, like what these Africans are doing. And look at what they're doing. This is the reason why a lot of countries don't want black people. They're going through in these countries as immigrants, refugees, and they're destroying the countries. Look at what they're doing to France, Paris, in Europe, in America. Look at the protests now in America. Look at the crowds. Africans. So government of Guyana, you don't want the Indians to leave. They have a choice. Countries want them. The blacks don't have a choice. Nobody wants them. So they have to stay in Guyana. And instead of them staying in Guyana and taking the opportunities that are afforded them, they're staying in Guyana because they can't leave and they're doing these bad things. The world is seeing and the world is saying, you see why we don't want these Negroes? Look at what they're doing in their own country. Don't let the Indians leave. Give them a reason to stay in the country. Give them an equal share of the land. Give them equal share of business opportunities. Give them an equal share of protection so they would stay in Guyana, develop Guyana, and do what has to be done instead of going to America and Europe and building those countries when Guyana needs the skills and the brain and intelligence of the Indo-Guyanese. Step up, Ali, step up. Elections is close. This is Dr. Love Persaud saying, I'll spend some more time on the next live with that idiot from the PNC, Azrudin Mohamed. He is a PNC, in case you don't know. He's a spy for them to try to get Indian votes to give it to Aubrey Norton. Aubrey Norton is pimping that idiot. We'll deal with him again on the next live. But for this one, I'm still off Facebook. I don't know if you see me, if you see my Facebook profile, let me know because I'm not seeing it. Until then, here is where we are. Share the live, spread the word. Follow me on TikTok as well. And I'll see you again on the next live. Goodbye now.